Hey everyone, so this is Catfish, the TV show episode 14 of season 5, and it's titled Larissa and Anthony. So the catfishy is Larissa and the catfisher is Anthony. So Neve and Max get this email from Larissa, who is a 20-year-old woman, and she's living in Yakima, Washington. She has fallen in love with this guy named Anthony who lives in San Diego, California. Her catfish ends up because a year ago she was catfished by a female friend of hers who used the name Jose. And then when it was revealed that Jose was fake, Anthony was there to step up and help her through it. They would text and talk every single day, but the longer they talked, there were more red flags that would pop up. Things like not being able to video chat when she asked. He then moved to Washington State a couple months ago. Um, then they get Larissa on Skype as per usual, and they ask her to go through her relationship with Jose to Anthony, and then go on to Anthony. And so when he would call her, his thing would be completely silent, meaning he would put his end on mute, and just listen to her. And she would only get text messages back when he would respond. So basically, um, that went on for 3 years with Jose, and then she was talking to Anthony while dating Jose. When her relationship with Jose ended, and she started her relationship with Anthony, she felt he was a catfish as well, because then he moved to Seattle first, when he moved to Washington. Then he moved to Yakima. Max brings up the extremely valid point that Larissa would just be willing to listen, would just be willing to listen to what anyone tells her. And apparently, after she sent Anthony close to $500. Um, and then Neve and Max, and talking to her, and then go make their way to Yakima, and they go to Larissa's house. She lives with her ex, apparently, and he controls the Wi-Fi or something like that, which is very fucking problematic, but I'm not gonna get that into this video. Max asks how she jumped from Jose to Anthony. She explains that Anthony was supportive after Jose revealed he was actually her friend Kimberly. And Neve, Max, and Melissa then go to Anthony's Facebook page, and Max says he's concerned that she sent him money, and he asks her where she got the $500 from, and she's like, it was supposed to be money spent on books, which is like, just like, really, like, come on, you're sending him stuff that you actually need the money for. Like, why are you doing that? It makes no damn sense. Anyway, so um and the reason she sent it to him is because he was in Alaska. It's whatever. The obvious next question that Neva asks is, why was he in Alaska? And she says that he told her that he was a fisherman and he admitted he cheated on her at the time when he went to Alaska. And Max tells like it is and says to her that she's so willing to let these people cross boundaries and expect and or wish them to be who they say they are. And it's like, well, that's very fucking true. Like, why? Like, what? Neve then says that there are a couple things that they're there for, but the main thing is that it's to figure out who Anthony is. So then Max and Neve leave to go do some research, and they go back to the hotel where there are two numbers for Anthony. The first one the first one they but first reverse image search the photos with zero hits on any of them, or on zero hits on all of them. And so basically they then look up the phone numbers, and there's no name or address for any of them. They look up the first one. They look at the first one, and there's no name or number, or there's no name or address for the first one. And then they look at the second one, and nothing comes up either. In the email Larissa sent to Neve and Max, she explains that he worked in a certain dealership. And so Neve calls this dealership and speaks to a guy named Hector. Neve asks Hector if a guy named Anthony Ramirez worked there, and Hector says no one by that name has worked there. So Neve goes on to ask if he had a previous worker there who worked on a fishing boat, and Hector's like, oh, that sounds very familiar, but his name wasn't Anthony, it was Jose, and this Jose worked for him for a couple months. Jose had a friend in the dealership named Mark, and Hector gives them Mark's number, so they hang up. And Max is like, it's kind of weird. The second catfish's name is Jose as well. But they put that aside for a moment and then call Mark, and he answers. Mark says that he hasn't heard from Jose since he moved to Kodiak, Alaska, a month and a half ago. So the guy's in Alaska again. So Neve asks to compare numbers and with Mark and the number that Larissa has for Anthony, and the phone numbers match exactly. So clearly this Jose is posing as Anthony, and look up Jose such and such's Facebook page. They find a page where someone is currently living in Kodiak and is from LA. So the next day they go back to Larissa's house and show her what they found. They break the news that the person who she's talking to, Anthony, is actually this Jose they found on Facebook, because it's pretty obvious at this point that it's Jose. And Neve calls Jose's number, leaves a voicemail, and after leaving a voicemail, Neve's like, well, we need to just go to Kodiak today, because that's the earliest flight. Otherwise they'll have to wait until, I guess, next afternoon. They really don't want to wait. So, and they decide to go there even if Jose doesn't call back. He says this mainly because since Jose didn't leave Larissa any choice, he shouldn't do the same for him. So Neve and Max and Larissa all go to Kodiak and arrive pretty much the next day. And they put the bags in the rooms before they move back up to come up with a plan to find him. And up until this point, they haven't heard back from Jose at all. And Neve says this is a small community and they are bound to find someone who knows him if they show his picture around. So they then set out to see if anyone has seen him. They go to a local coffee shop that most, if not all, the locals would go to. They go inside. The barista there suggests that they go to a bar that's close by, because that's where a lot of the guys hang out and stuff. So they go to the bar, and the bartender there says she thinks she has seen him before and that he may work close by at a cannery. So they go to the said cannery, and the woman who works there says, yeah, Jose works here, and he's actually here right now working. So she goes upstairs and grabs him. Then they go elsewhere so that they can talk, and Max explains it. Asks if he can explain why he lied. And Anthony was a former friend of Jose's, and he made the page in order to get back at him because apparently Anthony stole a girl that Jose was dating at the time. Max asks if Jose has any real feelings for her, and he says only as a friend. Marissa's like, well, then why the fuck did you say I love you first if you didn't have any real feelings for me? And Max is like, asks what was the deal with the money, and Jose is like, well, he was just using her at the time. He didn't even use any of the money. And then Marissa's like, but you're not a piece of shit. You'd say you're not a piece of shit, but you lie to me and just take my money and don't even use it. Like, that's you not being a piece of shit. Um, Max asks why, then asks why he came back to Alaska. Tom says that he wanted a fresh start where nobody knew him. And Max is like, well, the only reason why you would say that is if you murdered someone. And Jose says that he had been in trouble with the law and he's on a no-flight list and he can't go back to California. That's some creepy ass motherfucking shit. Just saying. Max says that there's this $1 million question. How can you catfish Larissa in the same exact way after he helped her get over a previous catfish? I was like, well, he wasn't trying to keep the game going. And it's like this bullshit and stuff. So they end for the day and go their separate ways, kind of calm down and stuff and leave. The next day, they visit Jose in his house, and he explains he was adopted and his biological father was a drunk. And he explains that his brother and sister are in different branches of the army, and he expresses that he wished he had gone into the army because he felt but he got into the party scene and he just kept fucking up and everything. Then he explained he got a job offered after they left. He got a job offer to work on a boat, and he accepted. And Max makes the observation that he's just running away again. And Jose admits he lied about cheating on Larissa when that wasn't even true. And he said he lied about his feelings for Larissa the previous day and said that he actually does love her. Like, can this boy even keep his fucking story straight? Like, you love her? Do you love her? Or you don't? Did you cheat on her or did you not cheat on her? Keep your story straight. Anyway, so after that's all said and done, 2 months later, the Neve and Max call Larissa on Skype, and she's clearly feeling so much better. She's more upbeat and everything, and she said that she's now working and everything, and she said that she has talked to Jose, but, and here's the kicker, he's in prison now, so he's only called her from prison, and he's written a few letters to her and everything, and it's like, really, I wasn't expecting him to get scooped up or anything, but apparently he did. And then he also asked if there was any chance for them to work it out, and it's like, really? Did you really ask that? Like, get your life. Anyway, so when they tried to contact him, the 2 months later follow up, he was already in prison, but he has since been released and is on probation. And basically that's the end of the whole episode. And I don't know. The second episode was pretty much a standard. It was pretty much a standard Catfish episode that you've seen over the last 5.5 years. So it's something new. I guess the no flight list thing and running away from the law is different. But for the most part, it's a standard Catfish episode, which I mean, it's just one of those standard episodes. Can't really say much else about it. And then at the end of the episode, you see the upcoming episode, and apparently the catfish, the catfishy is a guy this time, and I'm assuming the catfisher is just a woman, but I don't want to assume that, so I'm just gonna kind of retract that. The catfishy is apparently in London, and so they go to London apparently. I don't know. We'll see. Something is telling me that this person is not, well, maybe this person is in London, because apparently when they get to London, the person is in the lobby of the hotel that they're staying at. So I don't know. Maybe possibly a person's there, but I kind of doubt it. I mean, but that's just my 2 cents. Anyway, so like I said in my previous Catfish video, I'm gonna watch Catfish on Thursdays and make the videos on Fridays and put them up. With that said, I will see you in the next video of Marco Polo. Bye.